How's everyone doing today? It's CJ Halleck with CJHalleck.com, and in this video I want to walk you through some of the things I do when it comes to coming up with a name for a business or a website or whatever it is you're trying to username for your social media, whatever it is. So basically put, most of the times when you're going through everything and you're actually trying to get everything set up right, the first thing you want to do is make sure you can get the name you want. And you want to make sure you can get it across all platforms. You normally will have a good idea for what you would like it to be, but 90% of the time, if you're going through and you start looking for domains or seeing if it's available on different social media platforms, you'll find a lot of the words that you want to use for your handle or whatever may be taken. And to save you time, instead of going through and going to GoDaddy or HostJack or one of those places and actually checking for a domain and then going to Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else, what you need to do is go to knowem.com. And if you check on the screen here, you see it's knowem.com. And once you're here, this is where you're going to be able to check everything across the board, and including what I would call easily the number one thing you should check, and that's for a trademark. So right now, let's say I know a site I'm wanting to build that I'm actually building for this tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and check it. And I know the domain is not taken. So I know it's taken, but I'm the one that owns it, so we're going to ignore that part of it. But it's Shmooga, right? SHMOOGA. So we're going to go ahead and click check. And what this is going to do is it's going to go out and check all the social media platforms. It's going to check Twitter, Facebook, everything. It's going to check your domain, and it's going to check the trademark database. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check, and for what I'm doing, I know I'm not going to be using social media, so the fact that they're taken on these other platforms is not a big deal to me. So I'm not worried about these. Now, if you're planning on building, because this is just, for a tutorial, it's just a fun little website I'm doing. But if you're planning on building a brand and something that you want a lot of people to follow you and interact with your customers or fans or whatever, then you would want to make sure that it's available on all these social media networks. You want to make sure that you can get the .com. Like I said, I already own the .com, so I know that's me that has that. But you want to make sure you can get the .com, and more important than anything, you want to come down here and make sure this says your trademark is available. You don't want to go in here and have it where it says, Shmooga has a trademark. Like if you come in here, just so you can see what I'm talking about, we're going to go ahead and do Pepsi, right? And if you come in here, you'll notice, once it loads, you can't register Pepsi on anything. Like, okay, so you can get it on MySpace and issue. But all the other ones are taken. Almost every domain is taken. And then you see here that it's trademarked, it's registered. And of course you see some that are, canceled. And then of course you want to look into it if it says canceled or whatever. So you can get a good idea here if it's still trademarked. So when you're looking at here, they have, and these are hashtags that they trademark. Say it with Pepsi. That's a trademark that they own that was registered on the 6th of September in 2016. And a lot of these, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get them all here. But you will see if there is some in play. If it's been canceled, you should be good to go. I will say I am not a lawyer. I do not practice, law, trademark law, none of that stuff. So if you see that it's registered or even if it's canceled, you may want to go ahead and get a legal advice on if you should use the name or not. But once you go through and you see, let's go back to Shmooga here. Shmooga. Once you do the search and you see that it's available and it's not trademarked and it's available on the platforms you want to use, then go ahead and move forward. I'll tell you, this is a great way to find out what's available for your username. And of course, some of these are not necessarily huge social media platforms that are going to matter if you can't get them. But if you're starting a new brand, you want to make sure you can get Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and the main ones, right? Tumblr, WordPress, but don't stress if, it shows that you can't get it on Etsy. If you're trying to use a specific name for a plumbing company, right? Because you're not going to use Etsy for plumbing. Etsy's more for arts and craftsy type stuff. So understand what the platforms are, understand what you want to use, and then from there you'll be able to actually pinpoint whether you can use the name or not. If it is taken, and let's say I'm trying to do this and I notice I want to use Facebook, or let's say I want to use Twitter and it shows it's not available. You don't want to have your handle and your domain and everything else be different on different accounts, because it makes it hard for people to find you when they think, if you're Schmooga Consulting, right, and everything you have is Schmooga, and they go to Twitter and try to find you and it's someone else, it's going to be bad for your brand. So you want to make sure they're uniform across everything. So continue to change it. You may be, Schmooga X, right? And then you do a search for Schmooga X, and then you look, and there it is, available for everything. And you'll get LinkedIn. I've never seen this say available, so I wouldn't worry about the LinkedIn. If it says oops, error, most of the time it just timed out. So especially if it's available on everything else. SoundCloud, WordPress, and sometimes LiveJournal will come back with an oops error on a regular basis. So I wouldn't worry about that. The next thing, you come down to the domains. All the domains are available. You can get the .com. You come down here to trademark. Trademark is available. So at this point, you would be good to go ahead and use this. So that being said, this is how I check for making sure you name your business properly. And moving forward, we'll go through the videos to register your domain, sign up for hosting, and to build your website. And once we get that training knocked out and you go through that, I'll start with the social media trainings to show you how to sign up for these accounts, how to use them properly. And remember, in social media and marketing and stuff, you're never going to be perfect. You'll have issues and times where you'll say property instead of properly. So stay positive, be great, stay boosted. I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at CJ Halleck on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere on the internet, or you can just shoot me an email, cj@cjhalleck.com. That being said, hope you're having an awesome day. Be great, stay boosted. We'll catch you guys in the next video.